The head coach is Jimmy Patsos, and he joins us here on Big Board Sports from the Buffalo area and Niagara. We'll shoot around this morning before the game. Good morning, Coach.
Hello, Roger. How you doing? Is Zach with you?
He is.
Yep, I'm here.
Yeah, he's here.
What's up, man?
How you guys doing?
We're good. I'm just back from the Rose Bowl, so I'm a little out of it this morning.
Oh, my God. What a game. What a game. One of the best games ever.
Yeah.
How about Michigan, Florida State, Penn State, USC were probably better games than the other two games, the big games, right?
Yeah, there's no doubt.
No doubt. The two big games were both blowouts.
You know, so that was impressive. That must have been nice out there. Were you covering it, or you just go as a...
No, this was my Christmas present from my son, Matt. Called me up, got
nice.
2 tickets to the Rose Bowl, and I left New Year's Eve, and we saw the L.A. Kings play on Saturday. We saw the Lakers play on Sunday and went to the Rose Bowl on Monday.
I mean, what'd you just, you and your son?
Mm-hmm.
That's great.
Just
Good
the
for
two
you
of
and
us, Coach. It was all
And
good.
the Kings, Mike Quick, UMass grad. Wow.
Yeah, there was 18,000, and they turned it around for another sellout crowd to watch the Lakers and the Toronto Raptors, and then 95,000 at the Rose Bowl on Monday, and I got on the plane early yesterday morning and flew from California, got in last night. Here we are.
You know, good for you. You know, life goes on, and you figure out that that's what's important. What a great trip. I wish I went with you.
We would have had a good time, Coach. I don't have any doubt about that. You and I in California with my son, Matt, that would have worked out pretty well.
We would have been fine.
What's
probably would have played better without me.
I did come back, and I went through Jimmy Patsos with us every week on here on Big Board Sports. Coach, I did get back and go through the highlights of your game last night. And I saw, boy, and again, you had chances, looked like you played well enough to win, came up a little bit short, and Nico had a pretty good look at the three, right?
Yeah, I mean, we got a decent look from Evan Fisher. You know, Evan's a big guy that can get threes off. I know he hasn't shot it like any of us have wanted, but boy, he's had great practices, and he's a great kid. And Evan goes in and gets a three off in the corner, and then Marquise Wright just makes an unbelievably athletic play. It was like a controlled tip. Couldn't have been a better pass right to Nico, and he just didn't knock it down. You know, I feel bad for Nico. He had a wide open look against Ryder to win it. We were down 2, and he had a wide open look to tie it against Canisius, and right in front of the bench. And I thought both were going in, and Nico thought both were going in. And the good news is he thinks the next one's going in. That's what's going to happen. But you know, our 3-point shooting, we gave up too many threes and didn't make enough, but we're working on it. You know, we have to make some decisions. Should we not take so many threes? We don't take a lot of threes, and you have to take some. But, you know, we just talked about staying positive, and it was a great battle. And, you know, Levon was very steady, but Javion and Brett were really doing work inside. And I thought Marquise played really well. He controlled the game. And Kadeem Smith played some good defense. We had a couple defensive lapses on the 3-point line, but they made some tough threes, and that's kind of when things are going this way. You know, you miss an open three, and they make a contested three. There was a huge three they made at the end. It was like a 4-point game with 3 minutes to go, and we were right on the guy. He just rose up, and it went in, and we got a reversal of fortune has a lot to do with your attitude, and I think our attitude's good. You know, I haven't talked to you really since Vermont. Vermont's really good. I have Vermont and Albany in the championship game over there in the America East. Not that I don't prognosticate, but I've seen both teams play, and I know you guys out here and saw how Canisius, they're good. You know, Valenti, 5th-year senior, Crumpton, 4th-year junior, Cassius Robinson, 4th-year junior, new coach. They're good, and I was really proud of our guys. And we just have to get over the hump, try to get a win, and then it's the max wide open. It's 2 months of basketball, but couple defensive lapses in the first half. You know, I want to see our defense get a little better. And one thing we talked about, Roger and Zach, and you guys know this, is just, hey man, just take your guy and concentrate on stopping your guy. Against Vermont, we had a couple lapses where all of a sudden Duncan's wide open for threes, and you both know him. He's going to make those. And it's like, just stay solid, get your guy, and then we'll go down and execute. And I thought we made a big step towards that in the second half against Canisius.
Talking with Jimmy Patsos here on Big Board Sports on this Wednesday morning. Coach, what is the matchup with Niagara like? How do you basketball? We all know it's
good.
Matchups. What are they good?
They started slow. They got some new kids, but you know, this is a big year for them, and you know, they're tired of losing. And all of a sudden, they got Khalil Dukes, a transfer from USC. It's a very good point guard. Marquise will have his hands full. He averages 16. He had 21 against St. Bonnie's. Chris Barton and Nico go at it. He's a freshman, but the big matchup is LaVon Long versus Matt Scott. And then we may go small. Marvin Prochet is a guy we recruited. He was down in Long Island. It was between us and Niagara, and Marvin's, really good format. Brett's got him under control, and then it's Dominic Robb versus Javion. I think Javion's been very steady this year. I'd like to see him get a little more emotional and a little more take that next step. This is the time last year when he took that step, and I thought he did a good job against Canisius. Javion's just great grades, super person, and I'm like, you just got to get a little more, emotional, because we need you to be that guy you were. Well, that's when he did it last year, was this time. He got through school. So it's a good matchup. Kadeem Smitten can play off the bench. But it's funny, it's one of those little things. I like our matchup, but it's not by a lot. And they got to transfer from USC. It's funny, one of the things we talked about recruiting on this trip is we're recruiting guys. It's really, everybody's calling us back for recruits now. And I know some of the fans want to hear about recruiting. And you know this. I think Zach, especially at the St. Rose level or the Albany level, or they're like, who do you have? Marvin Prochet wasn't going to come here. We had Brett Bisping. He's like, I'm not coming here. That guy plays every minute of the game. We're not getting a transfer from USC because Marquise Wright plays 38 minutes a game. We're not getting a transfer or a player to come play the two. Nico Claris scored 500 points. He was the best freshman in the league last year and one of the top. So it's interesting. Now we have 4 seniors. A lot of guys are calling us back. I don't know if that makes sense, but it's like these guys have too much information, unfortunately. We can't fool them and be like, hey, you're coming in and starting. It's like, no, Hogan Yemi plays the whole game. Bisping plays the whole game. LaVon Long plays the whole game. Claris, one of the top freshmen. Marquise Wright's there. And it's Smitten sitting out from Richmond. So it's interesting that we keep playing against guys I recruited against, but yet I wish we had a couple of those guys to come off the bench right now. And Kadeem Smitten took it really, he was really good against Canisius and said, I'm ready to start playing as hard as I can. I'm going to worry about playing this year and not worry about next year. And we need that little extra energy guy, and I hope it can be Kadeem.
Jimmy, obviously you haven't started the way that you anticipated.
No, yeah.
What is the mood? What is the mood of your team right now? Are you guys, are like the players themselves,
Good.
Are they staying positive?
Yeah, no, we're staying positive. We checked out Niagara Falls just for a couple minutes. We had a nice practice, then we rested. I took them to Fences to see Denzel Washington's movie. I'm going to keep teaching these guys. We get along. We have a nice group. I've said that before, maybe too nice a group. We get along really well. I think the 4 seniors, and I think Sammy Friday and Evan Fisher and, Herder started to talk a little more. He played a couple minutes against Canisius. I'm still not sure Tom Herder can't help us. He's got to get a little more emotional, but he's tall. He can make a 3, had a couple good practices. We're fine. It's 3 games in March, but I wanted to do better this year. I don't want to talk about the schedule, but it came out the other day. I guess we had like the 70th toughest schedule, and in the MAC, that's number 1. The next toughest schedule is like 150. And you lose close games, and you both know this because you're around a team all the time that plays a lot of close games. You win them, you're sky high. You lose them, you're not. But we've been very positive, very good about building the guys up. And I was really happy that 4 of our 4 seniors really played well. Vermont was just a little, I don't know, we were just a little lethargic in the second half. We cut it to 2-3, 2-3. Then they hit 2 threes, and then we missed a shot. We missed an open 3. They made a layup, and then we didn't play good enough to beat Vermont and Hofstra. We have to play better, and we did against Canisius. We just came up a little. I don't mind coming up a little short, but I don't like what happened at Hofstra and Vermont, sandwiched around Christmas. But sure, Zach. I mean, sure, we've had some tough losses, but the 4 seniors are going to graduate on time. There's a lot of positives. But there's a lot of basketball is what we talked about. And this is basketball time. There's no school. It's about the league. You both have been around long enough to know it's about the league. This is a big game. But St. Peter's is a big game. But the league's wide open. I guess Monmouth didn't run away with it like the Golden State Warriors like they thought they were going to. Because they've had a couple losses already. I know King really well. I know that they had big expectations. It's college basketball. Everybody scouts. Everybody has scholarships. But we have to grind out a few wins, and then maybe we'll get the train rolling. But that was a good step, and I think that's a fair question. Our attitude's great. It's fun to be around these guys. Like I said, the 4 seniors, Sam Friday, Kadeem picking it up. Khalil's learning. It's a big learning curve for Khalil. Khalil Richards, he's a freshman. He didn't play last year because he had a bad ankle in high school, but He just couldn't play last year. He switched schools, and then he had a bad ankle, so that's a whole year he missed. Kadeem missed a year. We just need someone else to help out the 4 seniors a little bit, and we got to, convert a couple free throws. And like you guys said, hey, look, you got to make some jumpers. We missed Ryan Oliver. Ryan Oliver made some big jumpers last year for us. Sometimes you just got to knock it down, go down, get a stop, knock down another one, and get the win. We've come up a little short, but no quit. There's no panic. There's a sense of urgency for sure, and I've been preaching sense of urgency from day one, but I guess I've done a poor job of preaching that, and I guess I have to do a better job of getting the message through. And we had nice talk, and the seniors are all on board, and like I said, they're trying to get through school and everything. Well, now it's just basketball for a while, and that's good for us.
Hey, Coach, Bobby Bowden this morning. This is just for you, for Will, for any coach. How about this quote from Bobby Bowden this morning on Mike and Mike? We all know Bobby Bowden, the Hall of Fame Florida State coach. He says this. Listen to this. You ready for this? Players don't play for the coach. The coach coaches for the player nowadays. You agree with that?
Yes, I do. But how many? Yes, I do. And I mean, I think it was easy to say this is what. Look, I just ran into Tyrone Lewis, who's a great guy up here in Ag. He's on their staff. Great player, 1,800 points, first team All-MAC, played for Joe Mihalik. He kind of said to me, Coach, how you doing? I said, I'm hanging in there. He says, man, you run good stuff. I watch your tapes. Sometimes the players just got to do it. And I said, Tyrone, that's because you're old. He's 29, okay?
Right.
He's 29 years old, and he said, I'm in a different generation. I've talked to different guys here at Niagara. I've talked to some guys throughout the league. I'm 29, and I'm way different than these 19 and 20-year-olds, Jimmy. I'm 50. I mean, I really try to stay hip, and I love the players. I got a pretty young staff. He's 29, All-MAC, and he just said it's just, you got to really feed their egos. You got to spend more time with each guy every day, and that's okay. That's the job. It's okay. And like I said, Javion's been really good. Brett's really fighting back after getting a 4-0 this fall. First guy I've ever coached who's got an absolute 4-0. Levon's been pretty steady for us, It's unfortunate he missed some early games, and then I think Keith struggled up. He went from the 2 to the 1. He's back to the 1. But I need him to score, and I know that he wants to play professionally at some level and thinks he's going to be a point guard, and that's great. I need him to score a lot. So you have to talk to him why I want you to play the 2 and the 1, and he's been very good. And that's why we need Kadeem Smith. Who thinks they're going to come in and be a defensive player anymore? You guys both know that, what a joke that is, because they've all been scoring in high school. And then so they got to adjust to their roles. And I couldn't agree more with Bobby Bowden. And a lot of coaching today is about how you get each guy to fit in. And my thing is waiting the turn. Like, I think everybody deserves to have their day in the spotlight, but can you wait your turn while, there's these two guys? I don't think there's a better example of waiting your turn than Cremo. It's funny, I really hugged Cremo after the game, and we had a couple of laughs before the game. I was laughing after that game, but before the game, Cremo waited his turn. I mean, that guy was like, lost 2 games, the ball touched his hand every friggin' time in high school. And he bided his time, got better. He's a gym rat. And then there he goes, take it over this year. And I think that's one of the things Bobby Bowden is talking about. How do you get a guy to wait his time? Bill Self talked about it out at Kansas. Every guy gets the best player in his team by a mile. They had a big win last night. I saw that with the old traveling call, but who cares? It was who they scored. And it is, Zach. I think Zach and Roger, you guys know it's a fragile thing. But we have good people. We're going to keep battling, and at the end of the day, it's the tournament in March that's going to determine where we go. But I want to get better every week, and I think we took a step against Canisius. I hope we take another step tonight. We had a good practice yesterday, but that's yesterday.
Coach, I hope you knock down a win, man. We're rooting for you. Get a win at Niagara, get that split, and we'll talk to you this time next week. Thanks for a few minutes.
Yeah, next week I'm looking forward. I can't wait to come in because I miss seeing you guys. Believe it or not. Happy New Year.
Same to you, Coach.
Everybody stay good. Later.